Kathy Ann Dixon.
And I am Arlene Owen.
Welcome to Azar.
Kathy, we want to welcome our viewers to another episode of Azar. We love to have you all here with us. And remember to call up a friend, call up a family, and let them know that we are on. It's 6 o'clock. And remember to subscribe. We want you all to subscribe. Tell a friend. And when you call a friend, tell them subscribe so they will not miss the next episode. Right? And press the notification bell. That will also help.
And I want people, the younger generation, help your grannies and your aunties. They keep saying they don't know how to subscribe. So help them, all right?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Like my daughter helped me.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes, Granny.
Oh, Kathy, what is our tea for today?
Our tea for today is saffron.
This is what it looks like, people. And this is the plant.
Yes, another name for it is turmeric. What is it good for?
It is good for cleansing. You could take it to clean out yourself, like we say here in Trinidad and Tobago. You can also use it to do your facial. I see my daughter using it for her facial.
Yeah.
And you can also use this to, what again, Kathy? And carry down your cholesterol. Yes?
You said it's good for your skin?
It's good for your skin. It can take out dark marks, you see. I'm going to try this.
Well, the major thing I knew for saffron is to make saffron rice.
You're cooking good. You're cooking good.
Yeah.
So we could try saffron rice even for Christmas, which is coming up just now.
Yeah.
Yes. So you all try our tea. Saffron is really, really good for you. And we want to say thank you to Melvin Springer because we got this from his garden.
Wow.
And, we got a lot of things from his garden. So thank you so very much, Melvin Springer.
Yes, we are way down in Palm East, enjoying ourselves in lovely weather.
Yes.
And we have a wonderful guest with us here today. And our topic today is persistence, a key to success. So, Arlene, would you like to introduce our guest?
Yes, and our guest today is Mr. Cordell Browne. And Cordell, we are so happy to have you.
Yeah, welcome.
Welcome. We want to thank his wife also for allowing him to come here today.
Yes,
and Cordell is going to tell us a little bit about our topic because he was persistent in his life so that he was able to be successful. So, Cordell?
Well, thanks, Arlene, and thanks, Kathy, for inviting me on the show today. As you know, the topic we're going to be speaking about is persistence. And persistence is a very important thing because at sometimes not everything you will be successful at right away.
Yes.
So you will have to know how to persevere and how to keep on going at it.
Yes.
And so that at the end you will be able to be successful. So hopefully, I don't want to say everything right now, but at the as we go through the program, you'll be hearing more of my story.
Yes, thank you. So Cordell,
yes,
you are married. We want to put it outside there for the viewers, right? You are married. Let me hear you say it.
Yes, I am married. Of course.
So viewers, right? So tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit.
Okay. Just to briefly speak about myself, I'm from Bastia, Moruga. So so I say I must mention that on the show, must highlight the people in Moruga. People from Bastia,
Yes.
So that's where I'm from. At the age of probably 11, my mom would have migrated and would have left, my sister Suan and Auntie Erica in charge of me. And we would have moved to San Fernando actually around age 10, 11, and I would have met a number of people in Koki Open Bible. And throughout that I had an ordinary, I would say, childhood. I played cricket. I didn't have internet and Facebook, so I was outside of that.
Occupied yourself with nice things.
So a fun-going guy, love sports, love to read, love to surf the internet. Now that we have these things, as mentioned before, I'm married, I'm a family man, and I love Jesus most important.
So Cordell, what school did you go to? Did you go to school in Moruga or San Fernando, your primary school?
Yeah, actually I went to school, I started off in Bastia, right? So I went primary school there up to standard 4.
Okay, good.
Right? And then at standard 5 I would have started in San Fernando. Boys government there. And so that's when my primary school education, you know, from standard 5 would have probably kicked off, you know, going into what we call back in the day common entrance.
Yes.
Yeah. Now it's CRBD, right? Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yes. So, from after the secondary school, after the primary school, what secondary school you went to?
Right. So, I mean, like everybody else, I would have, you know, had my choices I wanted to go. And back in the day, the big school, Presentation College, everybody wanted to go NAPS, Benedict.
I remember.
Yeah, for the South people, that is, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't have a junior sec on my list, but I passed for a junior sec. You know, to be honest, I think it was St. Madeleine Junior Sec, right? Yeah. I heard my name on the loudspeaker.
Yes.
And
wow, it was different, huh?
Yeah.
And all the boys, they were happy because they would have passed the presentation and thing, and I felt like a little outcast there. You know, where's St. Madeleine? You know, Junior Sec, and Junior Sec didn't have a good stigma at the point in time. You know, so but. Further investigation revealed wasn't St. Madeleine, was actually Pleasantville I passed for, you know, but regardless, it wasn't a school
of choice.
Yeah, it wasn't a choice on my list, but you know, God's will, and we will hear more about that with more questions. Yeah.
So how did you do at school?
Not too well, you know. Like anybody else, going through a junior sec have its challenges, right? There are a lot of people with, you know, they focus on different things. People focus on smoking, people focus on partying. Everybody think they know life already, and you're so small. You think you're a big man already. You want to twist your hair and all kind of thing. I don't gosh, the teachers, we give teachers trouble too bad, you know. So going through a junior sec, it was very, you know, difficult. But I think I had the support around me to encourage me to, you know, to stick with it.
Yeah.
And, you know, to don't give up because of these challenges. If someone will work with you, you can actually get through. Yeah. You know? So, I went to Pleasantville Junior Sec, you know, and it was challenging there. From Junior Sec, I believe I went, not believe, but I know I went to Pleasantville Senior Sec. And the entrance there was very tricky as well, because I think my sister had to get involved with, you know, what class they put me in and that kind of thing. I was put in a bad class because I had a kind of, you know, you come from a junior sec, you know, and they didn't really look at you as, you know, to do sciences or languages where you think, you know, they get sticky anywhere, you know. So that was it, you know.
So what did they, what option they gave you at secondary school?
Well, to be honest, I think I had like metal work or something like that, and I know myself, you know.
You're not for the metal.
I'm not a metal man, so I mean, that's some good. That's some good metal man out there.
Yes,
you know?
and they're making money, but you know that is not your thing.
Trust in yourself. Like I'm not sewing you.
I'm in a metal class, and I told my sister, and she was like, "Cody, you know, can't put two screws together, you know." A metal man.
Yes.
So she get involved, and they moved me to, you know, a class that was more appropriate. So, and that's where my sister took some action, knowing that wasn't my skill set, you know. And
wow, that was
not
good.
saying that it have some very good metal men out there and good men out there. It's just that
stay in your lane.
It wasn't your thing. We understand. We understand.
Yeah. So I mean, that was about it, you know.
And how was your CXCO results?
Not too good in the beginning. I mean, I repeated. So obviously, I got a bunch of 3s and some 4s, that kind of thing. I remember people expected me to do well. When I didn't do well, you know, it was a disappointment to some.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, you can.
Is it that you played the fool?
No, I think I didn't maximize on my potential at the point in time.
I like how you say it.
You didn't maximize on your potential.
No,
You're right, that is true.
I didn't. And sometimes it happens. You have a lot of potential, but sometimes, you know, influence, you know, friends and things you're distracted with and a bunch of things. And I didn't live up to my potential. And I guess people would, you know, they were disappointed because they know
your potential.
They know my potential. Yeah. And obviously, for people out there that didn't do too well, I know what it feels like not to do well, right? And but again, I believe that you need to have a strategy, and you need to be persistent with that strategy, to eventually, move to another level, whether it could be in whatever area. But if you have a strategy and you're persistent, you could, in terms of not doing well initially, you could do well afterwards, but you need to first believe and first have a strategy and align yourself with people who believe in you. That will help.
You see how after he has finished, how he could give that counsel now.
Yes.
So after you finished and you say you didn't do well and you repeated, where did you repeat, at the same school?
No, I repeated at Open Bible High School. And I remember I wanted to go to Princestown Senior Sec. Because at the point in time,
so what's good?
Yeah, my friends, one of my friends say, Cordell, we had done Princestown, that is the place, Pitong, Pitong, and but again, my support system recognized that wisdom will dictate that it probably wasn't the best place to go at that point in time. So I ended up going Open Bible High School, and I had some teachers who from my church who were looking out for me, so they were keeping a little spy on me,
but make sure
but that's okay,
Yeah, that is good. The support system is very important.
Of course.
I keep hearing you say it over and over and over, which is so true. Because when you are young, Cordell, at that time, when your parents, or like you said, your sister is telling you, do this. Sometimes as students or as a child, you find your parent or that guardian is nagging you. But it's only because we want the best for the child.
Right.
And as you said before, we see your potential and we realize if you go down this road, you wanted to go Pitong, but all your friends would have been Pitong and they might have repeat the same thing. Come back with all the trees and fawns. But as parents, we have the foresight to see that road is not the road for you. And I like your support system.
Now, Cordell, though, what did you want to become? I mean, you find it kind of flopped in the first school, you went on to, but was there a goal? Was there a dream? What you wanted to be?
Well, actually, I had a goal, and I remember when I would visit my mom, on vacation, and she lives in New York, she will always introduce me to her friends, like, this one is the engineer. This one wants to become the engineer.
Wow.
And I remember I was an engineer at the point in time, but I was peer pressure because you're saying, this is the engineer here. In school, I give it real trouble. I know engineer in school, I give it real trouble in school.
That's a spiritual message there.
In terms of
speak things into your children's life.
Although that is not what you're seeing.
And I mean, I wasn't behaving in school, appropriately and maximizing on my potential. That's I was a bad fella. I think disrupting the class and thing is just I know I wasn't focused, and maximizing my potential. But my mother called me and she said, she would introduce me to her friends. This is the one who wants to be the engineer. And even while I struggled at first and I got bad marks, I know that was my destination. So I had to refocus and try to go through the steps that will take me to become an engineer. So so that's it in a nutshell.
And where did you go for your tertiary education?
Right. So as you know, in engineering, you could take a number of routes to become an engineer. You could do A-levels, and then you could go to UE, and then you could become an engineer once you graduate with a BSc in engineering. The other route is you can do a diploma, a technical diploma in electrical technology and mechanical technology and these things, and then the university will accept the diploma and you will continue your education and become an engineer. So I took the route where I went to UTT first and did a diploma there, and then I following that diploma I was allowed to continue into the degree program.
Good.
Right? And that's how my progress took off.
Good. But you were real focused at UTT because you had the experience before.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, I had the experience of feeling at first and knowing that that's not the end and you could get back up and try again and use a strategy and be persistent with how you approaches. So that's about it there.
Cordell, I remember you telling me a story about while you were at UTT and a teacher asking you a question. Could you remember that story?
Of course. I remember that story. As usual, I remember being in class and the lecturer was teaching on the board, and I think it was a electrical course, and it was a lot of mathematics going on the board and a bunch of things. And he would have looked at the class and he would have reached a point in the example and he would have called me to finish it off. And I remember walking up there, I felt like anybody else, I don't know what I'm going to do on this board here. Matter of fact, I didn't even understand what was going on in the class, I remember calling that, marker, and writing on that board, and I didn't reach very far with the first two steps, and the class, they recognized that, and people were laughing and, giggling and that kind of thing. And then I remember it was really embarrassing because she said, if you can't work out this, you might as well give up here. You can't go degree level, this is. I felt real bad at that point in time, and, but he didn't call anybody else to finish the sub, he finished it off. And I remember calling a guy afterwards, a bright guy in the class. I think his name is Adil Adi. I said, Adil, I don't understand this question. Matter of fact, I was lost. You could help my understanding. And then he said, well, tell me where it reached, in terms of my understanding.
Yeah.
And when I explained to him, he worked with me, and then, we figured it out.
That was nice.
And I was comfortable afterwards. And I remember during the exam, I felt real good because I said I could answer this question now.
Yes.
See, people was laughing at me, but I could answer this question now, get through this course. And that was a good example of seeking help.
Yeah.
Calling on somebody to, to assist, and not being ashamed to say, hey, I want some help here. I don't have it all together. The most important thing, and people in university life know, is you have to get through whatever way means possible.
You have to get through.
You have to get through. So it was a good example of seeking help, trying to understand, and I would have adopted that approach based on what would have happened before.
Yes. And the reason I asked you to recall that story, because I remember you telling me, is because we want Kathy Ann, those who are writing CSEC, those who are studying whatever it is, one, have a support system. Two, even if students laugh at you, like what they did, don't feel embarrassed. You get up and go again and ask a question, because so many times, Cordell, we are afraid to ask the question in class. Sir, I don't understand it. And plenty people in the class don't understand either.
That's right.
And them who laughing at you, Cordell, some of them didn't understand, But it is okay. Ask, sir, I do not understand. Call a friend and say, help me out. So that is why I wanted you to recall that story, because I feel we can help some young people with that.
Yes, but I want us to recognize Adil. Not everybody wants to help another one.
True.
I want to do well, and I want to show that I'm good at it. So I just run in alone, and who behind me, that is up to them. But the point that he took the time off to work with you and help you, we need more Adils around who would help persons who are weaker to bring them up to another level. But what type of engineer?
Electrical.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Nice, Cordell.
But is it that you were good at maths and sciences? Not really.
Well, I was good at maths, right? Because I remember from Form 4, my sister would have, with her connections. My sister had real connections. I'll put out there. Don't say I say so, but but she had a person called Miss Simmons, who was top of the line maths teacher at the point in time. And I remember when I entered that maths class, I remember seeing some of the guys from primary school who, when the results called, they passed a prez, and I passed a junior second. I was telling them, hey, back at the same race again, fellas. This time is, and I felt good because I recognized the quality in the class were people from NAPS and convent, and we were the back of the class. The class was so big, we were the back because all the top school students occupied the first couple of rows, and we were at the back. But I recognized, it was some of the top students, who were in the maths class. So I had a good mathematical base. you know, and in sciences as well, I would have pursued that with some, you know, purpose, you know, behind it and study it. So I didn't really struggle in those two areas, you know.
Yeah.
I had a good, you know, a fairly good base, you know.
Okay.
But you know, Cordell said something, you know, you said in the classroom, the press students and all these schools that we call here, how we call them, the prestige school students, they went in lessons too.
Yeah.
I take note of that. Sometimes we say, is this school? But you realize their parents were sending them lessons.
Right.
So sometimes all we have to do, if we could as parents, invest. Send our children to lessons. And you know, Cordell, you remember me about my grandmother say, where horse reach,
right,
them does reach too.
Right.
The other people, right?
Yeah.
So because they end up in the same class,
right,
you understand?
right.
And you are the engineer today, so all of, it's not where you begin, Katian.
It's where you end.
It's our end and support.
Right. Yes,
support.
I want to add something here.
Right.
Arlene just said that for parents to invest in their children.
Yeah.
Now there are some people who don't have any money, but their children have potential.
Yeah.
As a neighbor, as an uncle, as an aunt. See the talent that these children have and invest. I could help a child. I could mentor a child in my community.
Yes.
The child, you may not even have seen the potential, but you see this child going to school every morning and you just know the poor.
Yeah.
Find out when this exam time, you want some help with the books?
Yeah.
You want some help? People need, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
People need support.
Yeah.
But you had a good support base.
A good support system.
Yeah, had a good support.
You know, and I want to say shout out to some of the teachers in our church.
Right.
They really do assist those who are in need. Sometimes not everyone could pay the lesson teacher, and they do help out. So all the teachers, we shout you out and we say thank you for helping and investing and assisting.
Yeah.
You know, and continue to do good, continue to invest. And we want to tell you there's a secret called YouTube. If you do not have money for lessons, there are plenty lessons being offered free on YouTube. We also want to say to students, children, your parents are investing, spending lesson money. Please study. Please
don't waste
focus.
time.
Because it's a lot to invest. Lessons are expensive. So focus. You know, it goes both ways.
Yes.
So Cordell, was it easy? Well, you finished school, I guess you did well. But you give him a clap? Was it easy finding a job after?
To be honest, starting my first job wasn't too bad, right? And I wouldn't say it was easy. I would say God bless me, you know, because I remember straight out of finishing my diploma, before I even finished, you know, I was offered a job. So I was working and studying, and you know, when I look back at my CV, you know, I don't think I was probably unemployed probably for 3 months or something like that, you know, and that's because I took that choice, you know, to come back to Trinidad and live with my family at the point in time. But I don't think I was ever unemployed since finishing school.
Good,
you know?
That's a good testimony.
Yeah, so I look at that and I say, whoa, I can beat myself on the chest and say, but I recognize, God hand upon my life as well.
Yeah.
And He would have opened doors.
Just for you.
Yeah. So I don't want to say it was difficult, but I would say I was qualified, but God helped me too, to open doors.
So Cordell, could you tell us what do you do presently?
Okay, so presently I work at Atlantic LNG. I work as a consultant there, offering electrical and instrumentation consultancy services. And I'm also doing my master's, so I'm still studying.
Persistent.
Yeah, persistent.
Yes.
Consultant, you say?
Yeah,
wonderful.
This is so encouraging to see, a young man, and we like to see men, Katian, who decided, no, I'm not going to just lay back and roll over, and what happened. But I love Cordell, your story, how you're persistent, you persevere, you're not giving up. I really, really do like that, and we want to say, we thank you for being that example to all the other young men out there. And I know you have 2 sons, and they too will be looking at you, which is a very good example.
Yes, and he is such a good example, because even in the community I live, There are a lot of young men you find on the corner. They just sliming and they just be back there playing cards during the day, hot sun. And some of these young men would have gone to school and they would have failed. And after failing, they would not have had that support system, or they would not have had that, I want to see if I could go back and do better. They feel they fail and they feel I can't. And they just stop. But look what they have, what they could have missed out on. They could have been so much.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it really paid off.
It paid off.
We're really proud of you. Yes.
So we want you to call up your brothers, your uncles,
Yes.
any young man you know, and let them know to tune in to this Azar program. And if you're looking at it, share it to someone, a young man.
Yes. So we wanted to ask him, what is your greatest accomplishment in life?
My greatest accomplishment
So far?
Well, when I look back and I think about it so far, I think my greatest accomplishment is, when I look back, I recognize that I had a support system, I had a strategy, and I was persistent, and knowing I could still use this strategy in the future for future issues or challenges that might come up. And so my greatest accomplishment is knowing that I have a strategy and I can depend on the Lord to help me to overcome anything. And I would just like to add to, as a man, a young black man, I feel great to know that, I have my own home. I felt a sense of accomplishment with that, as well. You have your own home to go to, have a family, I take care of them, and I take that, responsibility very seriously. And also humble enough to recognize that, that God has assisted me, in being to the place that I am right now. So I don't want to give myself all the praise, I recognize that, there's a saying long time that a village will raise a child, something like that. But I truly believe I had a lot of support and a lot of input from different people that would have helped me reach where I am. So I must acknowledge that, must acknowledge
Is there anyone you want to acknowledge, or persons that you want to acknowledge who supported you, or anybody you want to say thank you to?
Yes, but I hope that I don't forget anyone, and please don't be mad at me, But I would like to acknowledge first of all, I have getting order right, because there's problems afterwards, right? So I have to acknowledge my wife.
You're right. You want to sleep well.
Of course, at the start of the day, I have to acknowledge my wife first, because other people would have probably been there before, but
yes, we go in the right order.
We're in the right order. So Nikki, I love you very much, and I appreciate you. Next in line, I would like to acknowledge my mom.
Yes. We want to say a shout out to that mom.
Yeah, I'm a shout out.
Jean Dunton from New York. We want to say thank you for supporting Azar.
Every other Saturday.
Right. So I'm a shout out my mom, my sister Suan Jackson.
Yes.
Auntie Erica.
Yes, Tanti we call her.
Tanti.
Yes.
A lot of people probably don't know Joanne Thomas I would have been there for a while.
That is true.
And she would have supported me. So those are some of the ladies. So some of the men, right? I must start off with, of course, family. First, my brother in Canada, Andre.
Andre. And Deja.
I have to start with my current pastor right now, Pastor Jackson, David Jackson. He would have encouraged me a lot. The men in our church, I look up at them as an example because those were the male figures around. So the Uncle Maslins and the Uncle Springers and the Uncle Holick and all the men, Brother Christopher, and some of the men in the church, I might be able to call all the names.
But we understand.
But I recognize any men in the church, and as well, my immediate families, so who would have been around me and would have supported me.
That village is really important.
So the support system, so I would like to acknowledge those people.
Yes.
Yeah. But before we go, you want to send a little hello for your children, huh?
Oh, yeah. So again, because they might look and then, you know.
Yes,
I start from the oldest first. You know? I want to publish, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so because my younger son, kid, and I was asking him, you know, where's the N-word now? And I say, I get swag, and he's like, no, daddy, you know, you'll be drip. So, you know, so I hope I drip it now, kid.
Yes,
So Kida, you know, that's a big son. You know, my daughter yesterday, Nia. I love you, Princess Nia.
Yes.
Mr. Lukman.
That's my godchild.
And baby Amaya.
Yes.
So those are my kids. You know?
Okay, yes, man. Good.
Cordell, your story reminds us of the quote by Benjamin Franklin, which says, energy and persistence conquers all things.
Right.
And you have really conquered all things with the help of God and your persistence. You didn't give up. And we want to encourage Kathy Ann, all the students, even as adults, you're doing something. Be persistent.
Yes. Stick with it.
Stick with it.
Not the first thing come and a second one come and the next one come and you feel like, nah, this ain't working out. No.
Yeah.
Keep pushing. Keep pushing. You will move. You will move. Just keep pushing.
Yeah. So Cordell, we thank you.
No problem.
We really enjoyed the time here with you. This was I feel so encouraged to move on, to keep moving. To know that maths wasn't my favorite thing, but I could conquer that. You know,
to make up my mind.
Yes.
Good.
You know, and ask for help.
Yes. You must do that.
Yes, we want to remind people that we want you to save the date.
Yes.
That date is the 18th of December 2021. What's happening?
We are going live. Azar is going live, and on that day, like I told you the last time, every time we tell a little bit, we'll be having giveaways.
Yes.
That's
Great.
Good.
So tune in and call up a friend.
Yes. So next 2 weeks we'll give them a little more.
A little more. So thank you again, our special guest, and remember to share, subscribe, comment. We want to hear from you.
Yes.
And press that notification bell.
Yes.
Love you.
Love
Goodbye.
you. Bye.